Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aaron. If you're new here, I do appreciate you stopping by. Today I am doing a review for the Netflix limited series, Midnight Mass. Now, just straight off the bat, I'm not much of a horror fan, but for me not being into that type of thing, this show really kept me wanting more, kept me really entertained and really intrigued. And it's hard for me, especially lately, to have a set attention span on something and really enjoy it. So the fact that this kept my attention, it kept me off my phone, and that I watched a few episodes like back to back, that's saying something. Now, in the later part of this review, I'm going to get into spoilers for those who have seen it or just don't care. And I'll put up the spoiler warning like I usually do. But for the part that I want to talk about now will be spoiler free. Okay, so the things I liked about this show, it felt really just realistic to just how we are as humans. The characters felt really, I wouldn't exactly say relatable, but they felt very understandable. Speaking of the characters, I think the acting for the characters is really, really good. I don't know if this will be up for awards, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. I just think the acting is great in this series. There's one standout character that you just love to hate, and I think she kind of stole the show, in my opinion, which I'll get into later. But yeah, the acting's great. The use of unsettling music was perfect. There was never a moment where the music took me out of the film. The editing was great. The cinematography was it's weird. It was calming, but at the same time unsettling, and I don't know if part of that had to do with the music. There's no shaky cam. There's none of that stuff. It's very cinematic, and you can just tell that everyone who worked on this show is just at the top of their craft. Directing was great. I think it's pretty cool that it was written, created, and directed. Probably produced, I'm not sure, but it was done by Mike Flanagan, and I think he did a fantastic job. I think he was also behind The Haunting of Hill House, or I think that's the name of it. I did a review on it, which I didn't care for as much as I was hoping to. And if you compare the two shows, for me, this show, Midnight Mass, just takes the cake. I would definitely recommend it. It plays on a lot of Christian themes. I'll get into that in a minute. But to wrap up the spoiler-free portion of this review, I would say I really enjoyed it. I would watch it again eventually at some point. I would recommend it. It's only 7 or 8 episodes, so it's about an hour each episode, so it's really not that bad. There's no sequel in the works. There's no season 2 or anything, so it's good time to sit down and be thoroughly thrilled and entertained, even if you're not into the horror genre. Alright, so let's get into the spoiler part of this review. So spoilers can go up, and I'll take it down when I say goodbye. So spoilers. I'm not gonna review this in any particular order. I'm just gonna talk about the things that stood out to me that I can talk about in this spoilerish territory. I found the Christian aspect of everything, lots of scripture quoting, lots of singing. There were parts where there was two characters talking about what they think happens when they die, and subtly in the background you hear "Near My God to Thee," but it was subtly and slowly played on a piano. I'm not sure how many people would pick that up if you're not in the Christian lifestyle, if you weren't raised in it, but I was, so I understood all the scripture references, all the music, all the subtle hints with the music to give this show an all-around religious theme going on. I guess parts of this show could be considered offensive, but I think you need to take it as the show is not an attack on Christianity. The show is about when you have an ideology and you just take it too far and you just go to the extreme with it. The character that I was talking about before that you love to hate, um, something Keen. It wasn't Rebecca. I don't know. I'm horrible with names. I wrote it down, but it's on my phone, so I can't read it while I'm doing this review. You know, if you've seen the show, you know who I'm talking about. She's like super pious, super stuck up on herself, holier than thou. Just a terrible example of what a Christian should be. You can tell, like, she has spent her entire life devoted to this aspect of Christianity and making herself better, but she's not really better. She's just trying to fill a void of self doubt. And she's really gotten to the point where you can tell she believes everything she's saying, but at the same time, you can tell that there's just a little bit of unbelief inside her that she's trying to overcome by being so dramatic about the Bible, the scriptures, and the Christian religion as a whole. So, I don't think that this show is an attack on Christianity or Catholicism. I think it's more of a thinking piece to think about, you know, religion as a whole, and also you can take anything to the extreme and you can take anything out of context. If you're reading some religious text, you can, if you try hard enough, you can cherry pick it and you can grasp things from it that either aren't there intentionally or that are there but you take out of context. And there's nothing wrong with looking at something and having a different viewpoint on what a scripture means or a quote, but it's something that's a problem when you try and push it on other people and you take it to its extremism. And that's what the lady does. That's what the priest does. I was thinking about the fact that when he gets basically killed by the vampire, which I think it's safe to say that the thing in the cave was a vampire or maybe some sort of demon. It was not an angel, but because the priest was not right in the head and was also super religious, when this experience happened to him, he viewed it as an angel doing this to him and giving him this miracle of almost having a chance to rebuild his life and help people. And so he took it to the extreme. He didn't look at the signs of this thing as evil and it's gonna change people and all this stuff. He looked at it as this is a terrifying angel of the Lord, because the scripture says, you know, they were so afraid when they saw the angels, and other aspects of when angels show up in the Bible, how terrifying they actually are. He took this vampire and he was like, this is an angel of the Lord. And because it performed a miracle on him by reducing his age and fixing his mind and everything, he just took that, which is understandable, but at the same time, because he was so ingrained, and I'll use the term brainwashed, into a certain viewpoint spiritually, that he just didn't look at the nefarious things that were going on, or that could happen. So, I mean, it makes sense. He brought this thing back to this island. He has these miracles happen. He's helping people. Like, you can tell he's really trying to do the right thing. But the times in the show when he's wrestling with, is this actually the right thing? Those are the times when, if he had the right guidance, he would realize it was wrong. But because he had the wrong guidance of the woman who took the scripture way out of context and cherry picked, and just how crazy she was. She was that guidance that was wrong and kept him from actually doing the right thing. So I found the show very interesting as a whole. I found its themes on God and death and life after death, and how we can take things in life, whether it's religious or not, we can take things out of context, we can think differently about them. So I found that very interesting, very fascinating, and I love when a show can do that and it's not just like an action thing or a drama, which this is a drama and it is a thriller and it is horror based, but at the same time, it's just really well done. And I think the script was great. I think the story was great. As far as the gore goes, I really liked how they did the vampire and the gore, how they kept it to a minimum, and that the scenes where they used it, it's really powerful because you don't have other violence going on and everything, and then it's just like there in your face and it just happens. It's shocking, and that's how you make good horror, is you have something shocking that is used at a very minimum, because the less you use it, the more shocking it's going to be to your audience. It didn't rely on just non-stop gratuitous violence and gore, but the times where it could use it to help the story progress, it did, and I think it did it just perfectly. So I could probably talk more about this, but my review is getting long, and my back is hurting, so I am going to end this now, so spoilers can go away. So yes, I would recommend watching this show. Just be forewarned, it does get a little gory at some points. Alright, if you've seen the show, leave your comments below on what you thought about it. I would be really interested in reading other people's opinions on it. Like this video and please subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel, and if you'd like to see more videos similar to this. So thanks for watching. My name is Aaron. I hope I see you and you see me. I guess I just hope that you see me in another video. Alright, thanks for watching and goodbye.